Good afternoon, monkeys. And you're probably saying to yourself, what the hell am I looking at right now? Well, I had about 20 minutes worth of video all saved and ready to go for you guys. And well, yeah, that got deleted. So let me walk you through kind of what I did here and what the premise is of what's going on. And we'll jump into some speed work, some speeded up video for your sped up. Speeded up, who said speeded up? Some sped up video for you here as we go through and kind of build more stuff in our park here. So as you can see, I built out a lake just opposite our two drop towers here and our mini plaza that we created. And what we're going to do is up in this triangular area here, I think, not that I think, I know we're going to build a walk-through like food area with a huge glass front. Even though it is very quote-unquote mining, I want it to feel, you know, almost very open, like you're walking through and there's this massive glass front or open front there, so you can look out onto the lake. Exactly what's going to go around this lake, haven't exactly figured that out yet. Again, we're going to play all this by ear because, you know, it's the best way to play this game. And then as we move around, we have this new area that we've created. It sucks. I would have loved to show this to you. I mean, it's not super complicated, obviously. But we've got a giant space here that's symmetrical. You've got, you know, 3 different flat rides built around with basically a Schwarzkopf quote-unquote jumbo jet ride there in the center. And the whole premise is that, and we'll look at this from a guest perspective, right? They walk in, you walk through your main plaza area here, and you walk through this. And as you open up into this area here, you're going to see the carousel, and behind the carousel, we're going to build a massive, and when I say massive, I mean massive castle around this entire area here, where the coaster is going to be the center. We're going to have a little village in the middle of it there, and a crescent facade facing the plaza towards the front. And then at each corner of this diamond, we're going to have another quote-unquote entryway where you walk in, and it's going to be a different tower for each of these flat rides there. And then the back entryway there is going to be for this quote-unquote Schwarzkopf jumbo jet style coaster. Again, this is a very key-esque area. We wanted to keep it super light with a smaller coaster. We're going to build some food stall areas here, as well as different facilities and stuff for you to buy souvenirs, or areas to buy souvenirs. So it'll be, you know, a nice little fun setup. But again, the whole idea is that we're going to create a massive castle in the center with the walkway going all the way around. We're going to have, most likely I'm thinking some sort of mountain feature over here. And then I want another water feature kind of separating the bottom portion here of this diamond, where when you walk out of this, we'll call the west side of the plaza. Here, you're going to have the water feature off to the left. We're going to close it off with some trees there. And then this whole site here, I think we're going to go western. I haven't fully figured that out yet or decided if I do want to do that, because I may want to bring western to the opposite side of the lake back over here. And I think this is more of a plausible idea, or better flow, I should say, going from the mining area into that back area there. And that kind of leaves us open for a different themed area here. Now we've got a number of themes, and let's take a look at this really quickly. From a theming standpoint, we've got, and one thing that I love, pirates, obviously, and we've got the city theme, which is super fun. We've got the Alice in Wonderland theme, which is always a really great setup as well. And we can create a really great Wonderland theme there. We've also got spooky. With our skeletons and trees and mausoleum stuff. What I don't see here, unfortunately, we don't have the Halloween jack-o'-lanterns and all that stuff. So that's something we're going to have to look into. We've also got our space theming, which I did in one of my previous parks. And if I remember, I'll throw in a cut of one of those pictures here of what that looked like, because that came out really great. We also have prehistoric. Now, prehistoric can be super fun. We can do a water theme. We can do a coaster, maybe a launch coaster, kind of like the Predcoaster or Velocicoaster, excuse me, that they're building in Universal right now. We do something to the same effect of that, which would be awesome. So we've got a lot of different ideas floating around and things that we can do. We've also got the Chinese or pagoda theming here, which again, another great theme that we can play. So we've got a lot of options, right? But as of right now, we know we're going castle theming in the center. That's going to be our, what we call Weenie for this area. We've got a Weenie in this area, which is the hill of the coaster. We still don't have anything for this hill back here yet. We're waiting on you guys to give us that. So again, make sure you put down in our comments below exactly what we're going to be, what you would like to see there. And I think the options were a mine train coaster, a log flume, or a mine train coaster, log flume, or a river rapid. So those are kind of the three things we're going to have for there. And then we'll do a whole Western theme along the back half here. We'll close that off again with some, maybe some hills, and we'll do what we, those are from Disney or know anything about Disney, with the berms, where we separate those different areas up. So we can do that back there. Yeah, so that's kind of what we've got going on. I mean, it's definitely starting to take shape. You know, I apologize again for missing this massive chunk of work, but there's a lot of tedium here with pathing and obviously laying out the lake, so you didn't miss too much. All right, cool. So I'm going to cut into now a speeded video, or a speeded up. Don't even ask. Sped up video of all of our theming here we do for the center, and we'll build out our castle area here so we can create our giant weenie. You know what I mean. All right, cool. I'll catch you guys in a bit. All right, so here we are, guys, in our sped up video of this next area within our theme park, our central castle area. So with the construction of our weenie, and again, for those of you that don't know what a weenie is, it is a central area in a theme park where, you know, your guests can see it and say, okay, I know I need to go that direction to get to XYZ, right? So that's the idea of creating a large figurehead piece within each area of your theme park. So that's what we're doing here. We're creating this center castle. This is going to be the centerpiece for the entire park, to be honest with you. We're going to have multiple towers that wrap around, a huge massive central tower there wrapping around the spiral on the top there. So there's going to be some areas within the park, no matter where you are, you're going to be able to see this tower. That's the intention. And you know, that's the direction that you need to go to get to, you know, the center, to leave the park, to get to a certain area, whatever. So this is going to be our center area, and you'll see it in every Disney theme park. You'll see it in Europe. There is Phantasialand. They have a massive central area when you first walk into the park. They just created last year for 2019 season. With a weenie in it, you've got Europa Park, which has the giant central Eurostar in the middle with a ride inside, and that's considered a weenie. And you think of other parks, you know, I think of like Great Adventure, for instance, Six Flags Great Adventure. You know, at one side of the park, you've got King Ka, which is the tallest roller coaster in the world, and on the other side of the park, you've got Nitro. Right, so you know that those are your two weenies on either side. In your center area, you've got the Joker ride. So that's a weenie that you can pinpoint. You've also got the massive Ferris wheel as well. So that's another weenie. And again, this is the whole idea of what the whole point is, right? This sticks up above the landscape, and as a guest, you know, boom, that's the direction that I need to go to get to wherever, right? So going back to what we're building here, so around each one of the rides, in the front, either side, and in the back. So we'll say south, east, west, and north. So right now we're working on the west side of the castle. We're going to have another set of towers here, and it's going to be another massive, quote-unquote, entryway into a tower for each of these rides, and the ride is going to be central to that tower. As we see, we have the Jumbo Jet, quote-unquote, ride. that we'll get a name to at some point, but that, you know, swings around, drops right underneath this walkway here, creating a great head chopper moment, right? And what we're going to do is, as you'll see in a little bit, we're going to wrap this entire area in great cedar trees to really give a nice woodsy feel. Think very England, you know, Robin Hood style or Westeros style, right? Very wrapped and engulfed in the forest where this castle is, and just peeks up over all of the trees. And that's the whole idea I wanted to go after for this particular area. So again, you know, I love using these square towers. I find the round towers are always hard to create some sort of symmetry with. But what we're going to do is, I'm actually thinking I'm going to utilize those round towers there for that center spire that's going to come up around the lift hill for the coaster, which would be pretty cool, I think. It'll show some really great variance between the outside spires and towers and the inside spires and towers. So here we are putting in those trees, as you see, and again, creating our west side entryway for the Fabergé egg ride. And I love using the Fabergé egg ride for my entryway area. Almost always in my entryway area is where it goes. It's super fun to throw in there. It's very generic, quote unquote, so you can use it for a number of different themes, but I like it for an entryway theme overall. Now, I don't know if you just saw there, we had different variances on which side of the square the wall went up. And you'll notice, like you can even see here, next to our window there, there was a line on either side of that square. That means that it's on the wrong side of the square. And you can fix that by matching it up the rest of the wall on either side and creating a nice clean facade. And you'll see me doing that quite often in many of my videos. Again, we're using a lot of the medieval theme here as well, which I thought was pretty cool for this. And you'll see when I get over to one of the, start building the food installations that I built for this area, very small. I'm not creating any big food installations, so I want this to be a walk-through area, right? This is, granted, there's a center area, it's a small kiddie-ish area, so there's smaller rides here, more family-oriented, but I want it to be more of a move-through area, right? So that's why you'll see, as we're building right here, our food outlet area, they're just snack stands, right? Really quick, grab and go, have a seat, sit on a bench, boom, and get out of the way and keep the traffic moving. And that's the whole intention of the 4 food areas we're going to create around our main castle area. I used these wooden walls here, which I thought was different. I never really used these, to be honest with you. I didn't want to create buildings. Again, I was going to try and do some sort of medieval town there, but I think I'm going to do that on the inside as you walk through all of the queue for the roller coaster. And you'll see that shortly when I build that. But yeah, so we're building in our benches here, as well as food bins, and then we're going to have our lampposts as well. So we'll have a lot of variety here from where to sit and people to walk through. And again, think very heavy greenery, a lot of trees, and a very bold statement, right? Now, granted, we're building this castle that kind of wraps around, but from a guest point of view, you know, it's going to seem very grand and grandiose, and that's the whole idea. We want it to be very big, larger than life as you're walking through. All right, and there I was just looking at the coaster, wondering why everybody got off the line for the coaster, which I thought was very odd. Only a year has passed, and kind of everybody got off of it, but the excitement rating is going up, and what we'll do at the very end is we'll run the coaster through, and you can kind of see where it runs and how it runs through each area in real time, or each section of the castle, and kind of see where the head chopper moments come in, and where, you know, those near misses come in, and how that interaction with the different areas around it, the different walkways and pathways, queue lines that this coaster has, creates really strong excitement rating, and how it consistently increases it. So I think when I first built the coaster, it was like 5.5 or 5.58 or 68, and now it's up in the 6.3, 6.4 range, looking to get it up into that 7.0 range highest. But again, this is supposed to be more of a family-oriented ride, so we don't want it to be an extreme coaster, right? We want it to be a family coaster. It's in a central area for everybody to enjoy, not just, you know, thrill seekers like crazy me, looking for the tallest, fastest coaster in the world. All right, and something I like to do here, as you see, the rows of flowers around the carousel. Now, for me, carousels are very specific, right? They're very iconic. You know, I love using the double layer carousel here and then wrapping it in flowers and having a very grand feeling to it. And that's the whole idea. We want it to feel very grandiose, like I said earlier. All right, and we're continuing on with the trees here. Now, this is what I love. Oh, see, there was the count for the statistics, excuse me, for the coaster, which was great. But as I continue on here, and I want you guys to keep in mind what we're running into. I'm trying to figure out what the next section is going to look like as I'm building out our second food outlet area here as we're walking through or working through here. Again, another bathroom and so on and so forth, but trying to figure out what this eastern side is going to look like. Now, do we want it to mimic the other side? Do we want it to have a little bit of variety or a variance to it? So that's something that we're going to figure out going into our next video, as we're already running into like the 17-minute mark, I think, or 16-minute mark at this point of this video. So I want to cut it pretty shortly. But again, I want you to kind of take a look at this and kind of see the direction that we're going. This will be part 1, and then we'll do a second video in our next video, which will be part 2, and that'll be the rest of this area here, all the way around, from finishing up the castle, creating the center spire, and then all of the theming and whatnot around the area. So, but yeah, that's the overall look there of our castle area there. And then here's me trying to figure out, now, what is this center spire going to look like? And, you know, again, using those round turrets, I think, are probably going to be the best thing for us there. But yeah, coming up on that 17-minute mark, I just want to say thanks for joining us for this video. You can check us out on YouTube, obviously, at Coaster Monkey Studios. We're also on Facebook and Instagram, and now Twitter, Coaster Monkey Studios. Check us out there. And with that being said, I will leave you with just this last little bit here that I create, the very front or southern exposure of our castle. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and have a great rest of your week.